When I was a kid, I watched a movie that stuck with me. It was called You've Got Mail. It's one of those classic romantic comedies. Funny, heartfelt, a little messy, and a lot human. And there's this one scene that I've never forgotten. At a dinner party, Tom Hanks's character walks up to the table and starts scraping all the caviar off of a shared platter onto his plate. Just taking it. Not a little, but all of it. And Meg Ryan's character looks at him like, "What are you doing?" Because that's caviar. It's a garnish. It's meant to be shared, not the main event. And he basically says, "I don't care. It's what I want." And at the time I laughed. I didn't even like caviar. Still don't. But I understood the moment. Fast forward to years later, I was at a hockey game, and not just at any seat. I was in a suite, a box. There was food everywhere. Main dishes, side dishes, desserts, fruit trays, everything. And I go up to get what anybody, as a reasonable adult, would call a balanced dessert. Except I didn't. Because sitting there were these blackberries. They were big, they were plump, they were perfect blackberries. And sure, there were other fruits. Strawberries, raspberries. There were cookies, all sorts. One in particular, snickerdoodles, my favorite. Now, a normal person might take a little bit of everything. No, I didn't do that. I took about half the tray of blackberries. Just scooped them onto my plate, walked back to my seat with a mountain of blackberries and one perfect snickerdoodle cookie. And I sat there, watching a hockey game, eating blackberries like I had just won the lottery. Here's the funny part. I knew how it looked. I could practically feel the imaginary judgment. The, wow, she really went for it kind of energy. But you know what I realized? Nobody cared. Not a single person in that entire arena, thousands of people, was thinking about my plate. They were watching the game, living their lives, doing their thing. And I was doing mine, happily eating blackberries. And that moment hit me in a bigger way than I expected. Because how often do we not take the blackberries? How often do we choose the safe option, the expected option, the socially approved option, instead of the one thing we actually want? This doesn't just happen with food, but how we live. We edit our lives, we filter, we second guess. We think, what will they think? Is this weird? Should I just do what everyone else is doing? And in doing that, we slowly drift away from who we actually are. So here's what I've learned, standing there with a plate full of blackberries. Life is too short to eat raspberries you don't even want. If you don't like something, don't take it. If you love something, lean into it. And if it makes you a little different, that's just fine. Because the people around you, they're not nearly as focused on you as you think. And the people who are judging you for something as small as what's on your plate, they probably don't deserve that space in your life anyways. So take the blackberries. Be the person who gets excited about simple things in life. Be the person who sends a picture of their ridiculous dessert to their family just because it makes them happy. Be the person who doesn't need permission to enjoy their life. Because here's the truth. What you do doesn't have to look like anybody else. I can almost guarantee you, out of the thousands of people in that arena, I was the only one eating half a plate of blackberries and a snickerdoodle cookie. And honestly, it kind of made it a little bit better. So whatever your blackberries are, go get them. Enjoy them. Own them unapologetically. And stop worrying so much about what everyone else might think. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. And you're the one living it. So, eat the blackberries.